everybody, so today we have another holiday collection, and the one I was probably most excited about. I've already shown you one section of this collection from Lancome, now I have the rest of it. So I have the face palette, which has eyeshadows and a blush. I have the lipstick, and I have the lip gloss, and I have the blush stick. So we're going to try all of these on today. I think I'll try two different looks with this. I'll try the blush, I'll try the cream blush, and we'll try both the lips. So I cannot wait to get started with this. The Lancome collections at Christmas are some of the absolute best. Last year it came as my #1 in the holiday collections. I loved it. I already loved the one that launched before this, which I will just quickly show you in case you missed that review. So I can't wait to get started. And if you're new here, hi, my name is Hannah, I'm 48, I'm not a professional, I'm just somebody who really loves makeup and beauty, and here on my channel I show you the latest releases, my favourite looks, and give you any beauty news you might be interested in. If you think you'd enjoy this content, I would love it ever so much if you did subscribe to my channel. Lots of people sometimes tune in without subscribing, but if you could, that would be ever so helpful to me. But if you're already subscribed, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. And my skin tone, when looking at colours that might match me, I have fair to light skin with predominantly cool undertones, but they do lean a bit neutral, so I can get away with warms a little bit. And I have blue eyes. Anyway, that's enough about me. Let's dive straight into this Lancome collection review. So if you missed it, I've already reviewed this, so we won't be actually looking at this on the face today. You can see my video of this. So this one is part of the holiday collection, and you can see the colours are exactly the same. This one came in a similar box. So this one came with two lipsticks. The lipsticks just in standard sort of black cases, and then this one has this sort of glowy blush, I'd call it, I think, because it's more of an eyeshadow slash glowy blush, but certainly that's how I used it. Oh, this lighting, it's too bright, I think. Is it? Oh, we'll see how it goes. I might need to turn the brightness down today because I can see that's overly bright there. But anyway, these are the colours that came with this, and I know everyone was curious about whether or not you can swap out the lipsticks, and you can indeed swap them out. So you could put this new pink one in. Actually, it doesn't fit. It's too wide. That is not good, is it? Because I tried last year's holiday one and that fitted in fine. This is the blue one from last year. But this pink one, it's too wide. You could sort of force it in. Would it close then? No, it's too big. It won't close. So you can't get the pink one in. That is such a shame, and especially because the pink matches the whole, now I've jammed it in. Oof. It matches the whole theme. You can't get it in. So anyone who wanted to buy the pink one that came with this collection and put it in here, oops, you can't. But you can put last year's in. So you can swap out all of their other ones. So I don't know if this pink one means they've now changed the size of these. Oh, joy. Anyway. Well, I think that's a shame, and they missed something there, in my opinion. But I did absolutely love this, and it's certainly got potential for being one of my favourites out of the holiday collection so far, definitely, just like last year. Whether this one that's coming with it that we're going to look at next today has the same effect on me, I don't know, to be honest. I'm not sure about this one. So I think I will put on the Juicy Lip Treat first, just so that I can have that on my lips on its own. So actually, before I do anything, I've done a swatch video of this and the lipstick. So let me play that clip for you first so you can see them in sunlight. So they do look really beautiful actually, don't they? And I have to say, out of all of the packaging we've had so far from Lancome in lipsticks, I think this one might be my new favourite. I think it is gorgeous. So let's try this Juicy Treat on. I really do like their Juicy Treats. I love the doe foot on them. I love the shape of them. I love the hydration. They are a gorgeous formula. So let's see, if I just zoom you in a bit, if this is going to give the shine that we're hoping it will on its own. So you can just slightly see a bit of pink, just a hint. It feels absolutely beautiful. Honestly, this doe foot, the way it hugs to the lip, look. It's such a joy to use. The best doe foot ever, ever. A bit of a sort of minty, slight tingle. Not a burning sensation, just a light tingle. That is very pretty. Very, very pretty. Definitely. Do you know, I've got 2 of these sitting on my desk right now because I love the formula so much. Literally right next to me. It's a really nice formula. I think I'll move next to the blush as well because I want a bit of colour on my face before we move to the eyeshadows. So let's take a look at the blush, which I've also got a swatch video of, so I'll play that for you as well. So I can't see any information on this one. I'll just check if there's more information on the website, but all it says on the back of this is that it's got a 12-month shelf life and it's made in Italy, but it's not giving the name of the blush. So this was £35, by the way. And the theme of the packaging, it's got this written for all of them. It says, embark on an extraordinary journey from Paris to happiness, Lancome's brand destination since 1935, and celebrate 90 years of magic. So there we go. And that's the sort of theme of all of the boxes that come with the collection, and some of the printing that we see, maybe not so much here, apart from this maybe, this sort of printing that we're seeing everywhere. Not saying anything about a shade for this blush, which seems really odd. But anyway, you've seen how it looks. It's definitely a sort of quite a bold pink. So I don't have powder on my cheek, so I can try and just, oh, it's quite dry, you know. Might have a bit of a drag in terms of how it might move my foundation. It's not super creamy. It's moved my foundation, look at that. Can you see? I've just got a white mark. That isn't good. Definitely not one to do that with then. So I'll take the brush to the blush, which is what I should have done to start with, but at the same time that's not really the purpose of these sticks. You are supposed to be able to put them straight on, and that is not going on top of powder, it's going directly on top of foundation only. Anyway, it seems to be fixed. I can still ever so slightly see that white mark from where it lifted my foundation, but anyway, it applies very well like this. I don't think you'll have an awful lot of time to blend with it though, so I would be a bit careful, but once it's on, that is actually a very nice shade, very natural sort of flush for me. I'm not going to build this up too much because I'm going to top it with the blush, the powder blush in the face palette. Yeah, definitely much better applying brush to blush. I wouldn't say this is anything exceptional in formula, colour, even in packaging. It's quite simple, quite basic. It's just an okay colour if you want to complete the collection. You could with this. It's the least impressive part of this collection in my opinion. The packaging is the least impressive. The product itself isn't particularly impressive. Whereas, I mean, this isn't particularly different either, but the shade is, the shimmer on it is gorgeous. And the finish, the formula. This one I just think is a bit, not massively impressed, but anyway, that's just okay. Not a recommend for me. But I'll leave this on for now, but we will try the lipstick on, I think, towards the end. I'll try it on maybe halfway through so you can see it on me a little bit longer than just the last minute. Let's move straight into the face palette now. So first things first, I will play you my swatch video. Here it is. So with this, it says once again, celebrate 90 years of Lancome. Have a look how the embossing literally disappeared with my first swatch there. This is a limited edition Adventurous Palette, a jewel from their festive collection inspired by the enchanting journey of the Lancôme Express. This elegant palette, dressed in pink vegan leather, houses 5 captivating eyeshadows to create a multitude of mesmerising eye looks, making the celebration unforgettable. I'm trying to figure out if my lighting is too bright. I've turned it up a tiny bit. Let me know what you think. Is this too bright? Is it washing things out a bit, or is it okay? Let me know. Do you prefer it darker or this bright? I should have just left it. It's always a nightmare when I mess about with lighting. But anyway, I've only slightly increased it, so it's just slightly brighter. This does come with a little brush, which I won't be using, but just to let you know if you did want that. But for me, it's just dead space. And then they've got some sort of recommended eye look. It does give numbers of where to put things, but it's not saying which number goes with which powder. And I can't see that on the box either, so I'm not really sure. Sorry, that's my dog growling. So I'm going to go in with my Sony G fluffy brush into this one, which looks like it's very, very powdery. A lot of kickback there. And now let's try this as a crease sort of shade. I was worried that was going to be way too much, but it's not. Just be very careful to tap off, otherwise you could end up with way too much, because it's quite a rich shade, and too much of this could be terrible on fair skin like mine. I'm going to try 2 different looks today to see if I can get very different looks from this palette. That's blending out nicely. It's a nice smooth but very, very powdery matte. Yeah, very easy to work with actually, very good. I think for the other side, I'm trying to decide what to do. I don't know. I've got to be honest, I'm not very inspired by this, because this might look like my dream colour because it looks greeny, but it's a greeny gold, and then we have another gold, and I don't like golds. So I'm not that inspired by this. And I'm just looking at it thinking there's not a look I particularly want to do. I do feel a bit, but I might completely change my mind when I put it on. So with that in mind, I will try this shade on my finger. Let's take that on the first third of the lid. So this is like a sort of antique gold with a bit of green in it. I'm saying I might like it. I think I do like it, I just don't love it. But the finish on it, the way it's applying, it's going on. Oops, I just got it all down my face. Cotton tip to the rescue. It's very smooth, very silky soft, and not overly emphasising texture either. It is a metallic, I'd say. It's not one of these metallics that's really difficult to put on mature skin. But it's not gone on ever so evenly either. I don't know. It's okay. I loved the other one because it had that light blue in it and it was so gorgeous. I'm just so sick of dealing with golds all the time. I don't like them. Okay, well, that's just okay. I don't think I can go double gold. I think that would just be too traumatic for me. Maybe I'll go with this light pink to finish this look. So let's see what I get if I put this on the first third. Oh, I don't like those together. Look at me being so miserable. I just don't think these colours are very nice together. I don't like pink and gold. Do you? No, I think I'm almost forced to go with this one because the pink just doesn't seem to work very nicely with it. I really don't like this at all. Okay, I'll go with this one and go over that pink. So we are doing gold and gold, which I really didn't want to do. Oh, I just do not like this. This is just a gold eye, basically. That gold on top of the pink, I don't like that either. And I'm not suggesting this is a look, I'm really just trying to show you all the colours. This is not a look, this is just a mess of colours that don't look very nice together in my opinion. This is a very negative review. Oh dear. Can we be a bit more positive on the other side before I go in and line. Maybe if I go in with, I'll try this pink all over the eye. Let's see if this pink, which has a little bit of shine to it, let's see if I can just get a look without gold. Apparently not, because there seems to be gold in the pink. How is that possible? I'm going to turn this lighting down. I think it's too bright. It's not letting me show you the colours. There, taking the lighting down a bit. Is that better? I think that is better. So can you see the gold sort of shift in that pink? So even the pink has got gold in it. And it's no wonder I didn't like it when I added gold. It's just gold upon gold upon gold. So this is pretty on its own. Look how much gold shift you can see with that. No more gold. This side is going to be gold free, which means excluding 2 shades. Although I might use that greeny gold to line. It won't be completely gold free, but that is nice as a one and done shade. I do like that. So we have some positivity here. This is definitely not going to my #1 spot, I can tell you that right away. I think it's just down to whether you like these colours on you. I don't think the formulas are bad, I just think this combination of colours is not something I particularly enjoy. What I will do is I'll take a liner brush and I will use that to line on this side using the brown. And that works quite well as a liner shade here. Now you do have the option of taking this blush shade into the eyes, but I am not taking any more pink to the eye. That would be too pinky, it would be enough to make me look unwell. I'm going to risk the greeny gold now with my Pencil Pro from Sonia G. So this is thicker than using a liner brush, so I should get a thicker line now. And I'm going to use this to be my liner. I might go over with the brown, but we're going to start with this. Now this might be the best way for me to introduce that gold without having it too heavily on the eye. So bringing it up for a sort of very thick wing. Only a little bit across the lash line there. Yeah, I think that's better with that small layer and the pink in the background. I think that's much better. I might take a little bit of the brown on the pencil brush now, just to add a bit more depth. So we shouldn't lose the gold because this is a much thinner line. Just take a little bit there, tight to the lash line, and bring up a little bit more of a wing that's going to be a lot more obvious over that sort of gold wing there. I much prefer this side. Definitely for me, less is more when it comes to these golds. I definitely wouldn't try to use all of them together. You might like that. I don't. Every time I say I don't like looks, I tend to get the response from you that you love them, but I don't. But I'd be interested to see if you like these, because I know a lot of you are fed up with golds. So now inner corner, I really wouldn't put a gold in my inner corner. I hate golds in my inner corner, but I don't feel like I've got any choice unless I go into another palette. As soon as I'm reviewing this, I will just do it today. So we're going for the lighter of the goldy shades for the inner corner. Not too bad. It's not too yellow, I suppose, for an inner corner. I'm not putting it under my brow, that would be too much. I think this is a deeper skin tone palette, whereas the first one, this one, is much more suited to cooler tones that I need to wear, basically, that work for me, and fair skin. So if you're like me, this is definitely the one to go for. This one, I think they've definitely catered more to warm tones, which is absolutely fine, because now you have the two options, and was I to choose between the two, it would be a very easy choice for me. But if you've got warm tones and deeper skin tone to mine, this one could be a really good choice for you if you like these colours. It certainly does feel very party vibe, doesn't it? But I wouldn't put all of them on like I did on this look. I feel like that pink looks really bad with that. But anyway, I'm going to stop now before I complain anymore. I'll just go into my Tom Ford, as always, just to go into the brow, I think, nothing else. Just to take that sort of bone shade there. And I'll leave it there. So those are the two looks. This one I think is really fun. This one not so much. I just don't want that green antique sort of gold on my eye, to be honest with you. Anyway, I'll stop moaning and we will try this as a blush shade now. Now you could argue with it being a face palette that this is also a highlighter, but not on my skin tone. I don't know if we could say that about any of the ones from this palette. Maybe I could go into this palette and use this as a highlighter. Not that I'm reviewing that today. So I'll take my Rapha Holiday brush to go into this. Look how much has gone on that brush, so I need to really tap that off. So let's see. Now bear in mind we're going on top of that cream blush. Oh, that's actually very pretty. Oh, I like that a lot. Okay. Maybe this look is about to really pull itself together with blush and the lips to do last. That is a gorgeous blush. Wow, I love that. It doesn't need a highlighter because it's already got a bit of sparkle. It definitely does. It's a shimmery blush, isn't it? Like, beautiful. Very careful with fair skin though, because I didn't tap off quite as much then, and look how much I've just got. I really, really like that. I think it is very pretty. Very nice. This eye, every time I turn it and see it in the monitor, I love it. I really love that one, so I don't know, maybe this palette's winning me over a bit now. I think what's very obvious, if you know me, is I'm just putting some blending finishing powder in, from Dior by the way. If you know me, you know I love my blues and my greens. And that's why I'm not jumping up and down with excitement about this, because these are not colours I love. That doesn't mean they don't work. And I do think, like this one is reminding me a bit of the YSL holiday one, the summer palette we had, that quad rather. Can't get any words right today, can I? I'm just toning down that blush, but yeah. Put a tiny bit of this gold on, which is not going to work for me, but if you've got a deeper skin tone, you could use this as a gold highlight, so it's going to be way too much for my skin tone. They are beautiful together, the pink and the gold. It's going to have a similar effect on my eye there. You can see it's just too much for me. I just want to show you so you can try it if you have a deeper, warmer skin tone, because that just might look beautiful on you. For me, I would go into the other palette to do that, or just go into a different highlighter altogether. But I do love that blush. But anyway, there's the gold on top of the blush. Yeah, that's going to look really pretty on deeper skin tones. I will leave it on for today, seeing as I'm fully embracing the gold. So before I do my mascara, I'll put the lipstick on so we can see it for a bit longer. So I'll just take off the gloss. So the lipstick is number 296. And when I do a search on the Lancome website, this is the only one coming up under 296, so hopefully that means it's a new shade. But I don't know. Last year, the blue ones they released, I've got a feeling they were all repeats. So definitely check your collection, check your Lancome collection before buying this and see if you've got number 296. Like I said, it's not coming up on the website. I'll show you how this one looks on the back of my hand. This is very Christmassy. Very bold. But I love their formulas. Whoa, look at that. Very bold for me, this one. I think I need to get my brush to calm this down a little. I can't afford to apply this fully. Look at the shimmer in it though. This is a shimmer finish matte and you can really see the shimmer. I think applied like this with a brush so I can calm it down, it's definitely better. Should not do this when I'm talking because I'm going outside the line there. So calming it down with my brush, that is how it looks. I'm not sure how I feel about that shade on me. I don't think it suits me. It's too pinky red for me. What do you think? 296. I'm not even holding up the lipstick, I'm just holding up the case. I don't know, I'm a bit underwhelmed. Let's put the gloss on top. That might help everything. This is not a shade I would choose, I don't think. It's a shame because last year I loved the shades that came with the holiday collection. Anyway, let's put this gloss on, which will make a complete mess now of the doe foot. That's improved it straight away. Do you know what? I quite like the eye looks now. They're growing on me. They are growing on me. Anyway, let me put some mascara on and then you can see my final look. So that is how everything is looking with mascara. And now the look is being pulled together with mascara, blush and lips. I definitely prefer it. I don't hate it anymore. I think this look would have been better without the pink. If I just skipped the pink and gone with the browns and the golds together, that probably would have been better. I was just trying not to double up on the gold. I still don't love the gold. I still don't think it gives enough coverage either to be used on its own, so maybe it's better to put the brown matte all over the whole of the eye, across the mobile lid and up into the crease, so you've got a full base of the brown, and then go over with one of the golds. I think that would be my tip. So you just use 2 shades, and then with this one, that's what I did effectively anyway. It was just the pink all over, just that one pink which already has the gold in, and then lined with one of the golds. I did introduce that brown to go over as a liner, which I've used for both, so you could do that as well. But I would stick to doing that 1 or 2, or even just a one and done. So you do have a number of one and done shades here, a number of simple looks, but they're all going to be party looks. They're all sparkly, they all have a hint of gold, apart from the brown matte. Everything has a bit of gold in. I think the blush is absolutely beautiful. I love the blush. I think the gold as a highlighter works very well if you don't have my skin tone. I don't love the shade of the lipstick on me personally. It's not a shade I would reach for. I need it to have a little bit of more of a rich orange tone to it, or a slightly more cool red with a bit of a blue base. This is not my sort of lip colour. You might like it, and that's absolutely fine. I can imagine it being a very popular shade. It's just not something I know that I would personally reach for, that's all. I think the blush stick was just very okay and not anything exciting, to be honest. The packaging on everything though is absolutely gorgeous. Apart from this, the packaging was a little bit plain, but the packaging on the lipstick especially I thought was really, really beautiful. Even more pretty than the blue one from last year. But I did actually dig out my packaging from last year. Now, I do think the box of the pink one is as beautiful as last year's, which was this blue sky theme, the Paris skies if I remember. So I prefer it because it's blue, I think. I don't know, I like both, but I prefer the lipstick with the pink. But one thing is, last year's I kept the box because I thought it came in a box that really made me think of like a piece of jewellery or a piece of art, a bit like the one that the Louvre collection. And it came with this sleeve as well. So it came in a velvet sleeve, which I've never used again, but I kept the box because it's just so beautiful, and when you present it in the box, it was worth me keeping it because I just thought it was so glamorous. So that's how I've kept it, and this one just comes in a more standard box. So I thought that was a bit of a downgrade, the packaging, and I will keep the box, so next year we can see if they bring back the old version. But if you want to look at the colour story from last year, now this came straight to #1 for my favourite palette of the year for the holidays. And also notice the embossing is still there, and I've used it a number of times. So this one is from last year, and you can see why I loved it. Much more cool toned, mixed with warm, so it sort of pleases both crowds, this one. And the embossing is just that much deeper. This one is more of a spray, I think, like a spray on top, because it literally disappears as you touch it. I watched it vanish as I did my swatches, whereas these ones really last. So you've got that sort of the beams of light from the sun, or from the moon rather, because it's a night, isn't it? A night sky and stars. But yeah, I much prefer this one. I loved that one. I thought it was gorgeous, and that blue is just something else. But this one, I think I can't complain, because this is going to really suit everyone who didn't like the cool tones that came in the first one I showed you that was part of this collection. And last year, as far as I'm aware, this was the only eyeshadow palette. I'm sure it was. So this year we do have the 2 choices. So this is the one that's going to really be better for deeper skin tones. So whereas this one has a split, it's sort of got warm and cool, pleasing both, but you've got less options because it's just the one palette. Now you've got an entire palette that's going to be more suited for warmer tones and people who enjoy golds. And then we have the cooler one that I showed earlier. The cooler one though is more expensive because it comes with the 2 lipsticks. It's very bulky. I happen to think it is gorgeous, and that definitely has potential for being my favourite release so far of the holidays. This one not so much, but this is a personal thing. I think if you like these colours, the formulas are really nice. They do work together very well. You've got an awful lot of options for one and dones. You do have a liner shade. I'm not sure if this would be dark enough though as a liner shade for deeper skin tones. It only just about works as a liner shade on me, so you may need to reach for a liner if you've got a deeper skin tone to me. This blush could be really built up to be quite a powerful blush. I think it's gorgeous. So lots and lots of positives, just not my personal preference, that's all. So now we've basically seen the entire collection. If you've watched my other video showing the first part of this release, I would love to hear your thoughts on both of the eyeshadow palettes I've shown. Which one did you prefer? Was it the first one or was it this one? Will you be getting either of them? Do you dislike both of them? Do you like either of these eye looks, or do you think they're both hideous on me? I'm coming round to them, I really am. I don't hate them. I just don't think I would choose to wear them. I would choose the other one all day long. But anyway, I'm repeating myself too much and it's time for me to go and stop waffling. So if you have enjoyed this video, I would love it ever so much if you hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed, I'd love it if you did subscribe. But if you are already subscribed, thank you for reaching the end of another review. I really appreciate all of you, I really do. And I hope to see all of you again for my next video. Take care everybody, bye.